Welcome to the Patryk Real Estate Show, where we explore the fascinating world of real estate investing with your host, Patryk Switek. Patryk is a dynamic young entrepreneur and an accomplished real estate investor who's passionate about helping others achieve financial freedom. Each week, we sit down with some of the most inspiring individuals in the real estate industry and delve into their personal journeys, lessons learned, and secrets to their success. Let's dive into this week's episode.
Mercedes, welcome to the Patryk Real Estate Show. Mercedes is not only a speaker at conferences like HostCon recently, but she's an educator. She's really well involved in the short-term rental space. She has around 50 properties in the LA, Los Angeles area, which is known as having some of the highest, hardest regulations to go by. And she's still flourishing as a manager in this area. And she's also an agent and helps people buy homes. So she does a little bit of everything. But I'm really excited just to talk shop and just see where this conversation takes us. A lot of really interesting things that we can talk about. Let's just go with the flow and see how it is. She's got a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really excited to welcome her to the show.
Thanks, Patryk, for that awesome introduction. So excited to talk shop with you. I feel like we live very similar lives.
We do. And it's funny because every time that what I do in Joshua Tree, the same thing that Mercedes does in LA, and she dominates her market. She's the domain expert in her market. I'm the expert in Joshua Tree market. We really don't venture out beyond that. We're just in our own little markets. We understand it really well. We know what works. We know what doesn't. And I think there's a lot of value to that as well. But I do want you to give a little bit of a story. Tell people how you came about in this world and how did you even get involved in short-term rental investing to begin with?
Yeah, I think it all happened on accident. Was it happy little mistakes or whatever?
Yeah.
We started off with an empty apartment, and it was during COVID, and it just wasn't getting booked because everyone was moving outside of LA during COVID. Obviously, there was no work here. And I was like, let's make this an Airbnb. Let's just put furniture in it and see what happens. Such a rookie that I didn't even know we needed permits for anything. So it quickly became an MTR, but it was a wild success. It like literally took off. I loved the whole process of it. And I just went a deep dive, and we just started promoting ourselves to a bunch of owners. We did staging. We did interior design at one point. We just did it all to really learn the industry, not even thinking that co-hosting could be like our full-time job. We were like, this could be an awesome side hustle. This is so fun. Never in a million years would I think I'd be doing this every single day.
Awesome. And you were a realtor first?
No, I was a realtor second.
You're a realtor second?
Which is also random.
So what were you doing in your past life?
I actually worked for sales and marketing for Four Seasons Resorts. So that's like top of the top. It's luxury. I was hired before I even graduated college by the company. And I thought I was a lifer. Like I still am a lifer for Four Seasons. Like I only stay at Four Seasons or Airbnb. But no, I was like seriously like one of the youngest like sales managers doing huge accounts internationally. I lived in Mexico for a long time. I opened resorts for them. I was traveling a bunch for the company. And then I got let go of COVID. And that's when I took our empty apartment and made it into an Airbnb. And it's funny now because a lot of my colleagues follow me, my directors follow me, and they're like, I had no idea there was money in this.
That's crazy. And do you think that experience in hospitality actually helped you in the short-term rental realm?
Oh, yeah. I've been talking about RevPAR, about nightly rates. I have been talking those terms forever. I went to hospitality, high school, I went to hospitality, college. So this has been my life for a long time. It's just funny that we can relate those terms to a home, to a house. So I think I'm very lucky to have that knowledge behind me when it comes down to numbers. And I really think it plays a big part of our success.
100%. And okay, so you made a transition into something that you were pretty knowledgeable about, but it almost came about by accident. You did the MTR. For people that don't know, it's a midterm rental, 30 plus days. And from there, what made you, was it the money that was coming in that made you decide, wow, I have something here?
It was literally, I enjoyed the process. And I had time because we were all laid off. I was working internationally, so our borders were closed. I couldn't travel. So I was one of the first sales managers to get let go. So I had the time on my hands. The money was really helpful, obviously. But no, I really enjoyed the process of it.
That's awesome. And I think that's really important. So you found something that you actually enjoyed. Did you enjoy what you were doing at the previous job?
Oh, yeah. Patryk, I was a lifer. I loved it. Yeah. Sometimes I still miss it sometimes. I really do.
What was the day? Can I know the day-to-day of that work? Because usually people that leave the corporate life, they just don't want anything to do with it. And so it's just crazy.
No, I loved it. I think it's seriously like my day-to-day is my day-to-day now. Like we would have pipeline meetings, we'd have sales meetings. We talk about big reservations coming up. I was in sales, so my job was more to like book like corporate events or book like incentive trips for like big companies who would take their top performers to Four Seasons with their spouses for like, so I was really working with the experience and booking that experience within Four Seasons. So my day was full of meetings and entertaining clients. That's literally what it was, or traveling to other resorts to experience it, to then tell my client, you gotta go check out Four Seasons, whatever, Hawaii, because like it's the best. So my day-to-day was really the same to what it is right now.
So you weren't managing just one hotel. It was sales across the brand?
It was like bundled up.
Got it. Okay. So that's actually a really cool job. So it's based in LA?
So no, I have lived all over. Seattle, St. Louis, Mexico's. I opened Cabo and LA offices. I've done task force. Yeah, it was all over. But my last stint, like with Four Seasons, was opening up Cabo, which is their brand new resort in Mexico.
Wow.
So I was based in LA, but was traveling to Cabo 20 days out of the month.
Oh my God. So you literally lived the life. You were vacationing for free. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had the best life. It's fun. It's really fun. No complaints about my past corporate life.
Wow. You had this great life, and obviously you took the opportunity to this new life. So what made you want to really dive deeper into short-term rentals and actually build the empire that you built right now?
I think there was a really big need, and every business owner or anybody savvy in business knows that when you create a business, like you're solving someone's problem. And I just remember going to Airbnbs, like with friend groups or bachelorette trips, and horrible stays. The pool was dirty. We couldn't use it. The location wasn't correct on there. So many things. And I was like, I think there's opportunity here to really enhance B&B experiences, taking like a luxury approach to it. And that's like how it evolved. Fun fact, before we were MBX Homes, I was like, maybe we could be like MB Experiences. I don't know, playing around, because that's what we were really trying to emphasize on. But then it evolved into this crazy business. And now it's all about like relationship building. And I think when you co-host, you have the ability to like mold your own business. Every co-host has a different story. Every co-host has a different way they run their business, which is so awesome. But I think it gives you the opportunity to like mold it and see what you can gain out of it.
Yeah, totally. And where did you go from? So you had this need. You felt there's this need. How did you go about getting your clientele from the start?
We were really hustling on Facebook groups. I've said this a ton, but every major city, or like even Joshua Tree, I'm sure, has Airbnb hosts, whatever that city is. People love to vent on there and go there when they have a problem. So we took that negative connotation to it and started DMing owners on there and offering our services as maybe as a solution. Or we would see a lot like, oh, I have to leave for 3 weeks. Can somebody help me like handle my cleaners? Like we would DM them and then handle their cleaners for 3 weeks. And then they eventually evolved into a full-time client of ours. So we really just saw the problem and tried to solve it. So we did a lot on Facebook. Thumbtack, do you know that app? Thumbtack?
Yes, I know Thumbtack.
You could list yourself as a property manager for a vacation home on there.
How many leads do you think you got from there?
Two of our best clients came from Thumbtack. They're still our clients to this day, and they have referred us to other clients. We no longer use Thumbtack, but honestly, like when you get a great client off of there, like why not? We did that, and then social media. Like we posted a ton on our TikTok with everything during COVID, and we gained a lot of clients from there too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've realized that Facebook groups is my secret sauce too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how I got so many clients in the beginning. I demonstrated myself as a market expert. I would, like you said, solve problems all the time for other people, but also I would make videos that showcased ways that you where to buy or how much money you can make depending on the area that you have your Airbnb in. And so these educational videos turned into clientele because people started trusting me really quickly. And that has been my secret sauce for sure. And it's really easy to tell when somebody needs a short-term rentals before they even need the management. I like to see people that are doing construction. At least that in LA is a huge, or sorry, not LA. Joshua Tree is a
Because
huge
you
factor.
know it's probably going to be a vacation rental. Yeah.
It's probably going to be a vacation rental. Somebody's going out there. They're doing construction because they're probably doing value add. There's a lot of really not so nice homes out there. And so I knew that the moment people start asking for Venetian plaster, I'm like, there's no way somebody in that area is going to put Venetian plaster in their property, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But most times it's somebody that's doing an Airbnb. So that's how I did it, and it worked really well. But it's crazy how you have the same strategy, but for LA.
Yeah. It's just about putting your name out there. If nobody knows what you're doing, how are they going to contact you?
Yep. And
Yeah.
social media is another good way. So that's great.
And we're
So
like
how?
really referral based now too. So I'm sure you are
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, 100%. And from there, right, obviously, like Joshua Tree, not as much. It's not as referral based as you'd think. It's more so the vendors that refer than clients.
Interesting.
Yeah. Vendors most times have connections where like you'll have a developer will reach out to you, or they know me as like the Joshua Tree guy and they'll reach out to me. But that's because people just, I guess referrals too, but people say, oh, I know a guy that keeps posting on my he shows up every day on my story. He does Joshua Tree
Love
stuff.
that.
So yeah, social media does really well. But I wanted to dive a little bit more into, so you scaled, you got into you have a lot now, you have 50. Let's talk about one of the biggest things about LA, which is very different from Joshua Tree, is I think, in my opinion, LA has a copious amounts of more regulations because of just the nature of the area. But I wanted to hear a little bit more about how you navigate that.
Yeah, so in LA proper, city of LA, you need to have a permit to STR. And people think you can get away with it, but the truth is Airbnb and the city are like this. You can't even post a listing without a permit number. It's not even gonna allow you to open up the calendar for less than 30 days. Obviously there's loopholes. The loophole is you could do midterm. There's different things you could do, but you have to have a permit. It's with the city. It takes about 4 weeks to get. The biggest thing is your license has to be that address. So if you're the homeowner, you have to have that license, that address on your license. It's really tough to arbitrage here. We actually personally don't work with arbitrage clients. We only work with homeowners, and that's for a very specific reason. But it's just a lot harder to get approved. It takes a longer process. There's a lot going on with arbitrage. So we stay away from that here. But yeah, you just really have to navigate, and we really help our owners in that process. We don't necessarily file the permit, but we go to city hall meetings. We're very involved. I'm sure you see me post about it all the time. There's a new policy trying to get into effect. We've been at city hall meetings. We're on Zoom meetings. We represent our clients. We invite our clients there because our clients are busy, their own lives. They can't just sit on a Zoom call at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's just not possible. So we really just try to be that representative for them. We want to show value.
Right. And that consulting piece makes you more than just a co-host or any other kind of co-host. It's really about client customer experience and making sure they're happy and doing stuff for them.
Yeah. Or we've had a ton of other real estate agents who have contacted me and they've asked me to do consults with their clients because they're trying to close on this, right? And it's going to be an investment property and they want to see how they're going to make money on it. So we've done a lot of partnerships that way, and we've gotten a lot of clients that way. Just by sharing our knowledge, doing a free consult, we'll gain a client that way.
That's awesome. And why LA? Why would you want to go to a place like LA versus try to do the same thing in a place that's a little bit more friendly for regulations and things of that nature, or a place with no regulations?
I think we fell in it accidentally. So I live in LA, so it's easy to do it here. And honestly, there's always something going on here. There's always people traveling here. There's so many different industries you wouldn't even think about besides the entertainment industry. there's a lot going on. We're always busy. So yeah, I could take my expertise elsewhere, but maybe it could be really seasonal. And then we're only really getting booked on the summer, and then our winters flop. So at least here we have a consistent occupancy of 70%. And that might seem really low to some people, but if you're 70% across 12 months, that's more than being at like 90% for 4 months and then like 20 of the rest, which happens a lot. So of course, LA still has their slow times, but pretty much we're always cash flowing.
Yeah. And so is there any risks for homeowners that buy in this area, or risks for you as somebody that has homes in this area?
Risk as in permitting risk, the permit process could be taken
Yeah,
away.
or yeah, like your permit being taken away, or you not being able to STR it anymore and
I think
losing money on your investment.
that's
Mhm.
a risk anywhere. That's a
Mm,
risk anywhere. Look at Dallas. Like everyone who
mm,
just bought single family homes now can't even STR there. Look at New York. We all saw that coming. But I think
yeah.
it's a risk anywhere. The benefit about doing it in LA is there's a lot of people who come for work. There's a lot of relocation. So midterms do very well. So if whatever reason your permit doesn't get renewed, or, maybe you got like a violation happen, like, I mean, that hasn't happened to us, but I'm sure it's happened to other people. You could always shift your strategy.
Yeah. And I think that's the big thing. So do you recommend people underwrite for midterm rentals and short-term rentals as
Yes,
well?
I do.
You do. Okay. So how do you underwrite a midterm rental?
So we just call it a furnished lease. So anywhere, especially in LA, a lot of people love to lease furnished because LA can be a little bit of like a landing pad for some people or like a transitional thing. So I always just say put the market rate and say you're going to do it furnished. So you're going to up it by 1.5 it or 2x it because it's
Right.
coming furnished, utilities are included. So we really don't look at it as an MTR. We look at it as just a furnished rental. And I do a lot
So,
of furnished rental business, a lot. It's
and
crazy.
even though it's month to month.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
In LA,
Okay.
after your lease is up, you're automatically month to month.
Yeah. So who comes in for a month to month lease to LA? I know
Oh
we
my
talked about
gosh.
this a
I
little bit.
get people coming for projects. That's huge. Whatever type of project they're doing, we get a lot of screenwriters. I get a lot of production people.
Mm,
I get construction people a lot too, which is random, but I get a lot of construction. I get athletes who are training here, going to rehab. Not like rehab, but like,
yeah.
rehab for their muscles. We
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
a lot of that for the
Mm,
summertime during their off season. Yeah, we get a ton.
yeah. And so I think that's another thing that's really different about LA from Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree, you can rely, for the most part, you can rely on the platforms and they'll fund all your short-term rental business in terms of guests in your place. But from what I've seen in LA, you have to develop a little bit more deeper partnerships to be able to do that. And I know that Mercedes, you definitely showed me that, especially when we went downtown and you gave us a tour
Oh, yeah.
of some of the partnerships that you've created in the area that allowed you to, for instance, short-term rent or mid-term rent units in buildings where other people might not have the opportunity to do that just because of the relationships you formed. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I think that's actually a great pivoting point, Patrick, because a lot of people think you had MTR like any condo and anything like that. The truth is the HOA is going to hound on you. Like a lot of HOAs don't allow leases that are under 3 months or leases that are under 6 months. So if you have an HOA that's hounding down on you, you can't even midterm. Because a midterm, 30-night stay, 5-week stay, whatever. So if you find like a really like MTR friendly building, like how amazing is that? That they're like supporting that and they understand that a lot of people are traveling that way. Also, fun fact, a lot of savvy travelers will actually book 31 nights versus 20 nights because they don't have to pay taxes. A lot of travelers will actually book a longer stay and not even use that because they're still saving so much on the 14% LA tax.
Oh, so you could do 31 days and then
Not even,
avoid, even if you're staying there for
yeah,
25 days, it might
yeah.
actually pencil in a lot better.
Yes.
Interesting.
And there's a lot of corporate travelers are like savvy of that.
So how do you get to the corporate travelers? What kind of partnerships you've met a couple people that do development in
Yeah.
downtown and leasing and all that kind of stuff. How do you even get into those circles?
I think being an agent has really helped. one. Like, we're in those circles because we've put our foot forward. We've really have just really connected with a lot of people. Also, I sometimes get a lead from like a repeat client. And let's say they're not necessarily looking to stay in one of my homes, but they know we have a really good product. They know we took care of them. And they're like, hey, like, I'm coming back to LA. Would you be able to find me something like in Encino? And like, maybe we don't have nothing in Encino. Maybe nothing's available. We will actually go on like MLS and find a furnished rental on there and see if we could get them booked. And then me and that agent now connect, right? And now that agent knows what I do, and now they're gonna keep referring us, and they're like, oh, we've had some corporate travelers, and like when they have repeat clients, they're gonna push them to me. So I really, your network is your net worth. Like, God,
It's
like that should
huge.
be on so many t-shirts, but
Yeah.
no, it's huge. I wish I could tell you a big secret, but the secret is to just be out there and be talking to people. And I also don't say no to a lot of opportunities. I think an opportunity knocks, you should at least see what's up, see if it's going to work for you, because you never know who you're going to meet with that opportunity or what it's going to lead to.
100%. And yeah, it's similar to what we do in Joshua Tree too, where we'll, like, one of our best properties that we've ever gotten was because we called up an agent to ask about a house and just asking, hey, if you're selling this, would you mind putting our name forward for management? We'd give you a referral, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the developer turns out to be a developer of another property that he's looking to list. And that property was Prism. It was that really
Oh,
incredible
yeah.
property. And now we're good friends with the owners now. And it's crazy because they do a lot of business just in general in the desert area. So it's a good relationship to have, but also we've helped them tremendously in what they've done. So I think it's like a win. But agents, I've realized, have so much networking
Oh, yeah.
capabilities. They know a lot of people from what I've seen. So do you think that agents have opened more doors for you, or is there anybody else that you specifically look out for?
No, I think other agents have opened huge doors for us, and as well as like our clients. Like, honestly, our clients refer us all the time, especially here in LA. They probably have had a long-term renter for 7 years. And they're like, okay,
Yeah.
like they're finally leaving. So now we're going to do a little reno, and then we're going to call you because I want to do the midterm strategy because less wear and tear, more money, and my friends are making a killer with you. So why shouldn't I? So we 100%, like, that is how we get our business.
That's awesome. And you don't do any outreach. You don't call up on
I
any
should
listings or
probably
anything?
do that. No,
Yeah.
but honestly, like, we're not. And I think a big thing is I don't want to just get mediocre properties here and there. We really want to make sure like our owners are ready to do this. They know they have to put the money in to furnish it. They're going to make a killer. Like, we want to partner with a really great homeowner. So I'd rather the homeowner honestly reach out to us and show us what they have and see how we could enhance that.
Yeah. I've also dealt with both leads a little bit. Most of ours are people coming to us and wanting to work with us. And I've realized the more times that I reach out to people, it's more like pulling teeth. So
Yeah.
they don't have the conviction that, hey, I need this. It's more like you got to tell them, you got to convince them versus, hey, I need this.
Yeah.
And you're the person to solve it is a very different conversation than, oh my God, I don't even know if I need this. It's girl, you need this. Like,
I know. I will say though, I do outreach for internal, like for our guest. So I will make sure that we touch on previous guests. We'll touch on other travel agents. A lot of our corporate travelers, like, oh, are you gonna come travel to LA for Q3 again? Let me know. We do a lot of outreach for our guests, for our bookings. Because what's the point of having all these wonderful homes if they're not getting booked?
yeah.
We do a lot of direct bookings that way.
Awesome. So where do you keep your database of direct booking contacts?
Great question. So it's funny because since they're direct bookings, they have to pay via Stripe or we invoice them QuickBooks. So they're in our system that way. But we also have these internal trackers that I wish were more sophisticated, Patryk, but they're not. But it's basically a tracker system for every home. It goes by month. And my homeowner has access to view this in real time. So it's Patryk booked. Reason for stay was scouting locations for a film. He's coming for these days with 4 guests and a dog, and he paid this much. So we know exactly who you are, why you're coming, and how much you paid. So we could literally go back, be like, okay, December 2022, who stayed in this home? Maybe they're going to come back. So we have this internal tracker for a few reasons, but primarily it's to seriously see why people are coming.
Return gap. Yeah. And then you have a lot better data. That's crazy. So my friend from Chicago, you know how many times, this is literally the most crazy thing. So this happened to me multiple times already.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever told you, but people will reach out to me multiple times. Will say, Patryk, you live in LA and you're the Airbnb guy. Do you have any rentals? And I'm coming in LA. Do you have any rentals in this area? And I'm like, dude, I'm all in Joshua Tree. And they're like, oh, that's 2 hours away. And so I've referred like 3 or 4 people, I think, at this point to you. I just send them to your website.
Where are they? That's so funny.
I don't know if they book, but I'm just like, just tell her that if you do book. But for instance, this recently happened. My friend's coming in on this Thursday, I believe, for a game at the Staples Center. And I'm like,
crypto.
Yeah, at Crypto Arena. And so at a Lakers game. And so I'm like,
have him stay. We have downtown. He could walk to crypto.
I literally was like, I remember I was like, I have a feeling that Mercedes has properties that are literally walking distance to crypto. But it shows it's on the Thursday night. There's always something going on in downtown.
Always.
And I think, and I asked him, like, why do you need a place to stay? It's because you already have an Airbnb. And he was like, I don't want to drive home at night.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, we got a lot of local people, like maybe they live like in Ontario, Anaheim, and they're just like, we want to have a good time and not drive home. Which honestly, thanks for being a safe driver and thanks for coming to stay at our Airbnb. So we actually, that's a great thing. We do pivot our like minimum stays, like when we know there's a big game in town or something's happening, we'll do 1-night stays and stuff.
Nice.
Which before I was like, no, 2-night minimum, but
yeah. So 1-night minimums have been good for you. Like for those,
it has increased our monthly revenue a ton.
We've realized that too. So don't sleep on the 1-night bookings at all.
No, they're good. The calendar will work itself out.
Yeah. I think what would be really nice for you, I'm just thinking off whim right now, but I think what would be really cool is Market My STR for you. Have you heard of that?
What was that?
Market My STR.
No, what's that?
So Bill Faith, big guy in our industry, started this company called Market My STR. It's CRM. So it actually keeps all of your contacts, all your direct booking contacts in one place. And then you can actually build landing pages and push them to those landing pages with emails. You can send emails through it. You can build landing pages. You can do Facebook ads with the landing pages. You could do like social media planning with it. It's
That's
everything.
Really cool. That's 5 things in one.
It's literally everything in one for marketing. And I think that'd be really useful for you, considering that you have all these, I don't even know how you're tracking all this stuff, but I think that'd be really cool.
It's all in there.
It's all in there.
So we do a lot of email marketing actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but I think that they do, I don't want to say what it is because it might change, but I think they were doing discounts for like $100 a month, which is not bad considering it has 5 to 10 different products in one. You could do websites too. They could build websites for you. It's crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
But anyways, just wanted to chime that in. If anybody wants to learn about it, it's Market My STR. Feel free. I don't get anything from it, but
no,
if you want to drop my name.
I love that. I will say that this industry is very giving though. Like people are always like, you have to try this, you have to do this. So it's a good industry to be in.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. And yeah, so as we're talking about just rentals and management, let's talk a little. I want to talk a little bit about some crazy, because I know Joshua Tree, people go there to relax most times, so it's very tame. But I want to hear a little bit more about LA. How's LA for guests? Are there crazy guests? You guys get parties? How do you manage all of that?
Yeah, so we don't have too many wild stories. I love a good crazy story, but I'm glad I don't have to deal with it. I just did a YouTube, actually. It went viral on a guest who I had to do a $10,000 damage claim for.
Wow.
So that was pretty insane. It was a midterm. Yeah, they're big YouTubers. They have like over 800K subscribers. They're huge YouTubers. And they were here to like film content, to launch a like product line. So they booked 3 months. Oh my God, it was like hell on earth. they ruined everything like on purpose, and they were just like nasty. And anyways, go to YouTube, like no plug. But that one was really bad. $10,000 claim, and Airbnb gave us every single dollar for it.
And I think I
Air
saw that.
air cover came through. Yeah.
So that, why don't people like air cover? Like, people don't like Airbnb. They think air cover's a scam.
No.
I've had great experience with air cover.
Great experience with the air cover. I think we had everything documented. I had to send a Dropbox link to the support agent because that's how much evidence we had. It was like timelined. It was literally detailed with notes. I think if you're an organized host, you can't just go on air cover and be like, my sheet was stained. Yeah, you're not going to get money. It's just like for real problems that are happening. And I think a lot of hosts have to remember what wear and tear is and what is, you really ruined this for me. Okay, a stained towel, like we're not going to charge a guest for that.
What was wrong with the place? Did they like break the couch? And
so they just wanted to get out of it. First off, let's just start first. I did the walkthrough actually, because this house it's in the hills and it's a little different. It's like a tiny home on the bottom and then a separate home up top and then a rooftop. So it's a really special property where we have to really walk through and explain to the people like this how this works. It's like a kosher kitchen, like there's a lot going on. We did the walkthrough and they loved it, okay? They were like, oh, this is awesome. We're from Michigan. We love nature. This is in the hills. This is so cool. I was like, yeah, awesome. And I was like, hey, your car's really low. It's a Charger or something like that. And I was like, your car's not gonna make it. Because I used to have a low car and my car would never clear that hill. I was like, we own the vacant lot next door. Use that lot. Like, we're not selling it right now. Just park there. 2 weeks later, my car got sideswept. I said, where did you park it? He goes, on the street, like you told me. When we saw the camera, this is the sidewalk, this is the car. It's like all the way over here. So I was like, dude, you need to call your car insurance. I'm not paying you. He wanted us to pay $16,000 for his car damage. And I said, you need to contact your car insurance. That's not my problem. It didn't even happen on the property. It happened on the public property. So it started off with that. And I think he was like pretty pissed that like we weren't going to cover it for him. And then it just went downhill from there. Oh, Patryk, you're frozen. Oh. But yeah, when we basically they clogged all of our sewage pipes. It's a septic tank, so they purposely clogged everything. We have evidence of it. They put all of our dishes outside for us to Easter egg hunt when they checked out.
Oh my God.
They told us there was cockroaches, and then when we went, it was because they haven't done dishes in 4 weeks. So that's why there was cockroaches. Thank you for bringing them into our house. So yeah, we had to get everything fixed. We had to get fumigated. We had a new check in 2 weeks later. So we had a 2-week window to really flip this house over. And now these guests actually keep extending. They love it. So it's really funny how a guest can be really just mean to you.
Wow. I am blown away. Take your plates and make you do an Go Easter
watch the video, Patryk. You're literally going to see a frying pan next to a tree with eggs on it. I swear to God. I was like,
that's pretty funny. If it didn't happen to you, it's pretty funny.
Honestly, it was funny. And I knew it was going to be fine. Because at the end of the day, it's just stuff. Yeah, the pipes suck, but we got it fixed. But air cover gave us all the money.
How much was it? You said 10,000?
It was right under 10,000, yeah.
And they covered all of it?
We got 8,900 because they took the depreciation into the couch. That was literally what they nicked us on, but I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, that's...
We'll air cover does take depreciation into effect, so that makes total sense. But yeah, we won the entire case.
So I actually had a couch that got totally I think I mentioned this before, but got totally freaking somebody stabbed the couch and I don't know what happened, but it was this big hole in the couch, and air cover gave us the full amount for the couch, and we just sewed it up.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, you have to pay for someone to sew it up. Why should that come out of your own pocket?
True. Air cover has been really good to us, so thankfully.
Yeah.
And did that give you any clients? That video?
It didn't get me clients. I don't know. We get calls all the time from YouTube, which has been really awesome. But people did ask for a part 2, so we did do a part 2.
Ooh, so it's not up yet?
It is up. Yeah, it's up.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I got to really explore. I know you're popping off on social media in general. That's why I was asking about the bad host situation, because I see you having videos all the time about different aspects of the business.
Yeah, we try to give real life situations. I'm a no fluff type of gal. I'm this is what's going on. This is how we fix things. Yeah, it's fun. It's silly. It always happens. And honestly, our volume is so high, right? We have 50 properties. So we are accepting minimum, we have 25 different parties every weekend. At least half,
Oh
let's
my
say,
God.
right? Besides our midterms that are probably booked. But you're going to have one lemon with that much volume. It sucks for the owner because they're like, this is my first lemon. But I'm like, we got it.
We got you covered.
I'm
We
like,
got
this is nothing.
Yeah, this is. I know some owners are like, "Oh my God, this was the worst experience ever. I got like Sharpie on my whatever." I'm like, dude, that's
Like,
like
you'll sand
$20.
it,
You'll
you'll
live.
repaint it. It's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
well, it's not a big deal. And then they look at us like we're crazy. Like, how dare they bring a dog into my place?
I
And
know. So I
yeah.
try not to work with emotionally attached clients, which is a big one here.
Do you say no to a lot of clients?
Now we do.
You do.
Now we do. Only because, and especially in LA, it's usually like they inherited the home, they grew up there, now it's theirs, now they're turning to a midterm. So a lot of emotional attachment. Oh, I grew up here. Like my first birthday was here. And I was like, fabulous. But you're going to have strangers coming in and out. So are you ready? Because it's different than like you living there. Or when people buy furniture that they like, or if it's like designer and it's vintage and it's hard to get replaced, I'm like, are you sure you want this here?
Yes. One of our clients, fun fact, or debated about buying this art piece that was really cool. I like the idea of it, but it was, I forgot exactly how much it was, but it was like, I think it was like around $20,000.
Yeah, great.
And I was like, yeah, maybe we should skip out on that just because never know. Somebody might break it. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
But cool. So I want to dive in a little bit more on just because we're all over the place, but I want to dive a little more on just like the seasonality and like how you fill seasonality with midterm rentals and partnerships and how you do all that.
Yeah, of course. So I guess LA is seasonal in a way. For instance, December, we know a lot of people come for Christmas and New Year's, but the first 2 weeks is slow. I guess our seasonality is weekly in a crazy way versus whole months at a time, which I will take. And I think that's why we really stay at a good 65 to 70% occupancy, but we're still cash flowing because they're higher rates, or we know when to flex rates when there's happenings in the city, big games, like we understand that stuff. So now I'm filling in gaps with other ways. I touched base a little bit, but we do a lot of filmings at our properties. So that's a huge market that we have tapped into. So in January, like LA film schools have their thesis. So we get a lot of students who need a film, do a 3-day short film. So we've actually partnered with the school. So now they give us a budget about $3,000 for 3 days, and their students will use the B&B to film their short film, which is awesome because they're students, right? They're first time doing this. Damage is minimal, like no damage, like they're too scared to damage anything because it's their grade. And $3,000 for 3 days in January? Of course.
That's so solid because now you're filling because it's off season, right?
Technically, it's off season, yeah. January, we're really only getting like MLK weekend because 3-day booked, and we're getting like Rose Bowl booked, New Year's, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of those times. And so with those film, like who do you talk to? Do you reach out to the school, or how do you do those kind of partnerships?
It's funny, like they find us. So we do list on like Peerspace, Gigster, like we are all over the platforms, which is good because that's why we're on all the platforms. And we usually get like one really great booking, and then we will tell them like, hey, connect us with like your professor. Like we'd love to like partner with you guys for future. Like we have multiple homes, like multiple students can use the home the same weekend. It's pretty great. So we take one inquiry from any platform and then try to go off platform with them.
Got it.
That's really been like a secret sauce. It's really been working.
So why off platform?
You get more money because you don't have to pay the fees.
Interesting. So what's the percentage of off platform versus on platform booking?
It's about a 15% difference.
No, but what's the difference between?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like the booking revenue difference. I think
Actually, I didn't even know that. So 50% more. Is it because of
15.
The lodging?
15.
15.
Yeah,
50,
it's because of the
15,
lodging tax or Airbnb or Peerspace. Like all these people are taking a cut, and we're the last ones to get a cut. So that's about a 15% difference, and that adds up, especially on a high ticket like a $3,000 booking, obviously. Yeah. But our ratio right now, honestly, we're 50-50.
Wow. Direct bookings and platform bookings?
Yes, it's 50-50. Like when we log into our PMS, you'll see direct, Google direct, website direct, and then it's like Airbnb, VRBO. It is crazy how we're 50-50 right now.
Is it because of the midterm rental bookings? They're
Oh,
longer, or just in general?
It's a mix
It's
of
based on
everything.
how many days, or is it based on
No, this is like bookings coming in.
bookings? Wow.
Yeah.
Amount of people. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. People will literally text or email us first before even going on Airbnb right now to book.
Do you think that's your secret sauce?
I think so.
Do you
I
think
so.
other hosts are doing that, or not
No.
really?
No, I think they're scared. I
What
think
is-
a lot of hosts are scared because you don't have that security blanket. I actually had to convince an owner to go off platform with a midterm. I was like, listen, you lost honestly almost $2,000 with all the fees. Almost $2,000. I was like, they're willing to pay the same amount they pay on Airbnb just off platform. You're gonna get that much more in your pocket. And she's like, yeah, but squatters. I'm like, Airbnb's not gonna cover you of squatters. They're not gonna care about that. They're only gonna cover you for damages. So we're just gonna charge them a refundable security deposit. Same thing.
So you do the security deposits. That's how you
For
mitigate
monthlies.
risk.
Oh yeah, for monthlies for sure.
Okay. And what about like just let's say it's a week-long stay.
We have like
Do
their
you-
credit card on file so we can charge it.
You have their credit card. Do you have the agreement in place that shows like you can charge it? Okay. Smart.
We do have an agreement set up with our direct booking website.
Got it. I think that's huge. Personally, I talk about Airbnb being an amazing platform. I think
It
it's
is
one of
an
the
amazing
best.
platform. I do love it. But they've done me dirty a few times, Patrick.
They done you dirty. How Mercedes?
They've done me
explain.
dirty. I'm not going to lie.
Explain.
Like I had a
They did give you
great-
almost $10,000 that one time.
They did do that. But for instance, I had a same day booking come in, inquiry. They blocked it because they thought it was going to be a party.
Ooh.
This was going to be payout was going to be $1,700
wow.
for a 2-night stay at one of our Beverly Hills properties. And I was like, I need this booking. Like this booking will push them into cash flow for the month. I was like, no.
Yes.
$1,700 for 2 days, dude. And I was like, no, like they're not blocking this. And the guest, he had 36 5-star reviews.
Wow.
I think what the flag was that he only put one guest and it was a big house. I think what the flag was is that he only put one guest for a big house because he was asking questions about stuff. And I think that's what flagged. And then when I was like, he was booking it for his boss and his boss's like wife and nanny. He was like an assistant. Long story
Got it.
short, I typed M, enter B, enter X, homes, com. He booked on our direct booking website. And then we ended up getting $1,900 instead of $1,700 because of the fees.
That is awesome.
And I was like, I don't care. I need that booking.
Savage. Mercedes went savage. mode on
Sorry,
me.
Airbnb, but I've done it a few times.
I've done it a few times too. I'm like, hey, sometimes next time you come back, just stays you like. Feel free
We
to ask.
are, here's a little trick for you hosts out there. You know, in a review, like when they review you, we always say, thank you so much. Next time you're coming to LA, visit mbxhomes.com for a direct booking.
Can you do that? Did it never do anything to you?
No? Or I don't think we put .com. I think we do Instagram because Instagram's just the handle.
Oh, yes. That's what we do too.
I think that's what we do, actually. I should probably know that. But I know we for sure invite them back, and we get a lot of bookings
Repeat.
that way, too.
That's awesome. Great. So, Mercedes, I want to get to the last 3 questions and wrap this
Okay.
up. One of the questions is going to be a special question just for you.
Oh, thank you.
And the first one is going to be, what's your favorite book that you would recommend to other people? Doesn't have to be real estate related.
That's a great question. Patrick, I'm not a big reader. These are like fake.
Some books in the background. For the
I
background.
really don't have a favorite book. I'm so sorry. I don't have one. I'm not a reader.
So are those books just on display in the back?
I literally have Kim Kardashian's selfie book on there. I don't know if you can see that. It's not that fancy. Oh, Atomic Habits is a really good book, actually.
There
I
you
did
go.
read that. It's great. It just takes a lot for me to read. But no, my boyfriend's a big reader.
All right, so Kim Kardashian and
No,
Atomic
that's not my
Habits.
favorite book, but it's on there. She made the
Mercedes'
shelf.
favorite book is Kim Kardashian Selfie Secrets.
It's
No,
such a good one.
Okay, cool. What's Mercedes working on? What's her future look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So future is looking bright. 2024 is almost here.
Let's go.
So we are working a lot on repeat guests. We're doing a lot of email marketing. We're really like working that data. It's been really helpful for us. But I am an agent, so I'm really pushing my agent career as well, because the business, I'm so blessed. It's really running itself. I have such great systems in place. We have such a great team that I think my job should be being out there, being an agent, making connections, getting us really great new properties. So my whole mindset has really shifted. I'm obviously still here for my clients. I talk to my clients all the time, but just to really do some cool new things here in LA. And we're working on acquiring a few more motels. We have one in Michigan right now. So hopefully in 2024, my goal is to obtain like at least 2 more.
Leagues with the hotels.
So I think 2024 is going to be a great year.
That's awesome.
And I have to make it to Joshua Tree in 2024.
Yes, I know. I invited you so many times. I'm like, you should come. I'm gonna do one question for you specifically, Mercedes. Cool. Let's just say that you don't live in LA anymore.
Okay.
You live wherever you want to be. You want to take this experience that you created, this beautiful thing, and you could do it anywhere in the world. Where would you do it?
As in, where would I work remotely from, or where would I take this business elsewhere?
Take this bit, like you would just, let's say you would have to restart. You sold this business, whatever. You restart. Which area would you restart it in?
I think I would do like a very vacation heavy destination, like an island somewhere, like in the Caribbean, somewhere so fun where you can, there's a lot of managers out there, but I don't think like they understand like the systems and the software. There's so much opportunity to grow in like those type of markets. And again, always booked. You have your snowbirds, you have your summertime travelers, you have your spring breakers. Like again, very consistent bookings. I would plant myself on an island somewhere and start all over.
Until COVID, Mercedes, and then all of a sudden nobody's flying in and you're dying.
I know, that's a different story. But it happened in LA too, honestly. It really did happen here. It could happen anywhere, but I think any market that is vacation ready.
Okay, cool. Is there a specific one you're thinking of? Because you're thinking of an island. I'm like trying to picture this island.
It could be any island. Aruba.
Any island, just point at the map, just that island right there. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the wrong side of the world. You're in Madagascar. This is it's not the Caribbean anymore.
I know.
Cool. Awesome. Mercedes, thank you so much for sharing your story, and just you're always just a ball of energy, and I just appreciate you being on and taking time out of your day to be here. For the people that want to know more about you and just like connect with you, you're fairly accessible, right?
Fairly accessible, yes, of course. Yeah, not too busy, but MBX Homes on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Awesome. She's going to be a rising star, guys. 2024, she's going to be famous. Watch out. Get in before it's too late. Thank you so much, Mercedes, and hopefully you have a good day.
You too, Patrick. Thank you.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to the Patryk Real Estate Show. If you found this episode helpful, please give us a follow and leave us a 5-star review. Your support truly means a lot. And connect with Patryk in the show notes below. Until next time.